Hello, this is the Brasslow 1 Healer Tarot 9 here on YouTube. I wanted to do the storyline reading because this news just came today that the Marine Penny was found not guilty on all charges as far as murdering Jordan Neely on the subway train. You had to look it up on the computer and you'll see the story and you can see the actual video. Okay, so he was found not guilty for whatever reasons. I really don't know, but I just wanted to do a storyline reading as far as this situation, because when the courts and the jury said that he can just go free, it's fine if he just murders somebody, you telling everybody out here, oh, it's fine, you can just go kill somebody and you can get away with it. But everybody out here is not going to get away with it. That's the thing. And that's a fact. But you let him know that he can just do this again, murder somebody and get away with it, because you say he a Marine. I don't care if he King Kong. You don't get to just murder somebody and it's fine, because the courts say it's fine. So he gonna have to answer to God, since the court system didn't get it right, because it's flaws in the laws. God gonna get it right. He gonna have to answer to God in this situation, because God don't condone murdering anybody. God don't. Even if all of the people there feel it's fine, God don't. So let's just do a storyline reading as far as this situation, because when I heard that the verdict was not guilty and he wasn't getting at least 4 years or something, that was very disappointing. That is a travesty, because you telling him it's okay that you go and murder people, right? When you go on over in war, you go and murdering people. That's what you do over there. But you coming over here and you coming back and murdering people also. That's not acceptable by God. And you're going to answer to God. If the courts didn't get it right, and the courts didn't get it right because you're going home or you went home or whatever happened today, God is going to get it right, because God wants justice for the life of Mr. Jordan Neely, the life that God brought into the world and that you took out of it. Okay, so this is the Brasslow 1 Healer Tarot 9 here on YouTube. Okay, so this will be the actual last video for this year, 2024. So the other videos you'll see is for 2025, but this is the last one. Since this came today, this is why I'm adding it, because this was very disappointing, and pretty much the courts decided Mr. Neely's life was nothing but trash. That's what you said when you did that. The jurors, everybody involved, and anybody who in all of these comments saying it's fine and he did the right thing and all kind of stuff they saying, all of you said that his life was trash, as good as garbage. But if it was one of your loved ones or one of your relatives, you wouldn't feel that way, correct? I'm waiting. I thought so. One of your loved ones, you'll be there fussing at the judge, fussing at the court, in front of the court and everything else, writing letters and everything else to get justice for your loved one. But you feel Mr. Neely's life is worth not 1 cent, was good as trash, because he was homeless or because he was on drugs. Who are you to judge? Each one of you people got something going on with you. Each one of you. Every juror, the judge, each juror, each person that complained about him on that train, each person that touched him, all of the people in the comments that complain and say it's fine that he was murdered, each one of you has something that's going on with you that's not good. So how can you judge anybody? So let me just do the storyline, because that was a travesty. That the jury sit and decided, oh, well, his life is nothing but trash, because that's what you told his family, and that's what you told God. Don't look to God with any family problems you may have. begging God to help you as far as a family member of your own, and expect God to answer your prayers. Don't expect that, because God gonna remember. Remember that young man, Mr. Neely, that you decided to just let the murderer go free, and you looked at Mr. Neely's life like it was garbage? Remember him. Okay, this is the Brass Love One, Healer Tarot here, one you too. So I'm going to do a storyline reading. As far as this case, was they coerced? Because sometimes with the juries, sometimes people are coerced. I've been on juries, I've been on a murder trial before. I know how it goes. I know how it goes. Somebody want to go home, somebody don't agree. The other people trying to push the person into agreeing to make it all fit together, to throw out to the judge. All kind of nonsense be happening back then. If you don't agree, you don't agree. You don't supposed to give in. I don't care if it take 100 days. You ain't giving in. Because if you go off what the judge tell you, you don't supposed to give in. If you don't feel something is right or something ain't lining up. You didn't get it right. You didn't get it right. You didn't get it right. Okay, so let me just take some cards. I hear nephew. Yeah, somebody's nephew. I hear nephew. Okay. Look at the first card. It's obvious. Something come from way back. So this case, this happened, I don't hear my phone. Well, this happened, this wasn't real way back, but something come from way back. So with this card, I'm going to say racism. Follow me? Because this didn't happen way back. This happened last year or the year before. This wasn't way back when this happened. But this card is something come from way back. And the next meaning for this, if it's not an actual person to person, is racism. Get what I just said? We got things that's set in stone a certain kind of way, where people want things to be a certain kind of way. Okay? I think he too cute to go to jail. He too good to go to jail. And you're putting everybody else in jail. I don't care if you're a Marine. I don't care if you're a lieutenant. It don't matter who the person is. If they do wrong, they supposed to get punished. Nobody is no different than nobody else. Don't you have a lot of people in jail already? There's mothers, fathers, this, that, or whatever titles they hold. No titles don't matter when it comes down to somebody committing a crime. It don't matter your title. Okay, let's just flow. That was disappointing to see. Well, God is going to handle him spiritually. The courts handle him their way. God going to handle him spiritually. Because we got this card jumping out. Because he put Mr. Neely through torture, choking him. Right. It was a masquerade, right? Okay. Okay, let me just take some cards. He might have had problems with his woman, if he had a woman. He might have had problems with his woman home. Afraid of losing his job or losing his woman some kind of way. I mean, Mr. Penny, that one. Follow me. See, I see the manslaughter. God saying it's manslaughter. I just saw that card. Let me see if they come back up. Look at God. God is good. That man supposed to went to jail. Look at that prison card. That man supposed to went to jail. But what they do, come in his defense. That man supposed to went to jail. Look at the so-called friends, the jury, hooking notes. The jury, get what the card's saying. They want to wrap it up. Pray about that thing and just wrap it up. So-called friends, trying to be friends. They hook notes. They wanted to cheer on his achievements that he was a Marine. Right? They wanted to take down the walls for love, told somebody, come on and give in, probably. Deep. That man supposed to went to jail. Do you see this big jail card here? Coming in his defense. Needed to tell the truth. Look at these cards. God is good. Right? I saw a manslaughter card in here. Let me just try to find it. God don't make mistakes. That was manslaughter. He moved fast on it and committed manslaughter. Get what the card's saying. It was Marcus the show. And they saw it. Everybody saw it on the video. Everybody. Unless she was blind. Right? Okay? Maybe he gonna get married to somebody. Or maybe twin. Let's just flow. Look at these. God brought those cards out right off the bat just like that. God said it. God, you just saw those cards, didn't you? It was a big masquerade. That was a masquerade. Masquerade. He got put through torture because something come from way back. Some kind of racism up in that thing. I don't care what they say about don't put race in it. It was racism up in that thing. Because if that was a black man choking out somebody, that man would be in jail. Wouldn't be no second thoughts about it. You need to look in the mirror and it will show you the truth that that man choked Mr. Neely, Mr. Penny did, and killed him, period. Right? You need to look with both of your eyes because all of us saw it out here. Right? Because here he is. He was hateful and it was in his genetics. Follow me? Through and through. Family. Whoever he was raised by. Or we can just put this with the Marines if you want to put it with the Marines. Take it away from his family. Put it with the Marines if you want to. Because being a soldier, you are taught to kill. Right? Right? It's in your genetics, right? You got to get it through and through in your blood that you're supposed to attack, right? So you can take it that way, but I'm going to take it with his family because that's what the card goes with, okay? Okay, so we have right here, he is not being protected by his father, Mr. Neely, right? So we got this man, Mr. Penny, was being abusive to Mr. Neely like he was his father. Follow me? So we have, he might wasn't protected by his own father, Mr. Penny. That's just slow. You heard what I just said, right? So I saw his hand go up and he is touching a man's leg. Go look at a video. And I look at boxing and all kind of things like that, wrestling. And when you tap somebody, that mean you tapping out. That mean you quit. That's what it means. I just saw a card say give up. I'm going to show it to you because I don't like what happened today. So that's why I sound like I sound. I saw a give up card. That mean I give up. That mean let me go. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go look at wrestling and you'll see. When people tap, that mean they give up. Get what I'm saying? I saw the give up card. It's gonna go down eventually. Look at this. He had his hand up touching somebody's leg. That mean I give up. His pattern. I give up. Get what I'm saying? And then we got the other man, when he put his hand up, the other man puts his hand down, hold his hand. What are you holding his hand for? Holding his arms for? I didn't like it at all. Circumstances stopped Mr. Neely from living for a lifetime, framing it for a lifetime, having his life. Circumstances was Mr. Penny choked him to death. And those other two men, or whoever it was, held his hands down where he couldn't even get the man's hand off of his neck. Okay? We got the substitute. Mr. Penny, he decided he wanted to be a substitute and step in for the cops when he wasn't the cops. So he was going to be the substitute and he was going to step in and be the big man. Right? And step in. I'm a substitute for the cops. So that's what he looked at he's going to be. And he's going to make things balanced. But he didn't make things balanced. He murdered somebody. He murdered Mr. Neely. Here we got all these simple Simons. We got all these simple Simons sitting on the darn jury, going along with mess like that, knowing that that man murdered that young man like that. He is going to wrap it up every time. Right? Anytime I guess he felt like he wanted to jump in different places, or he just wanted to wrap it up right there at that time period. Or we got this jury. They wanted to wrap it up every time and just pray about this thing. Let's just wrap this thing up. Because it probably was one or two of them that didn't want to go that route. It'll always be something like that. We got number 17, number 71, number 8, number 7, and number 1. Okay, let's just see. In other words, you know all about it. He was tender and sissified. Mr.Penny, that one. He's the attacker. He's the one. Man's supposed to be in jail. The big jail card right here. Man's supposed to be in jail. Mr. Penny said he give up. He put his hand up over there and tapped that man's leg. You need to go look at the video and see. That mean you tapping out. He wanted out. He wanted them to stop. All them people were set in their own ways. What that first card say, obvious something come from way back. The thoughts they have about people that look like him or homeless people. They want to save some money, right? Along with the court system, they want to save some money too. So we have right here that's filling a lecture, the jury, the court. Get what I'm saying? Okay, help stop the loss of children if you can. So right here, they didn't help stop the loss of Mr. Neely. But God's saying each one of you people who was part of this trial, part of the jury, part of those people who complained about him, part of the people who held them down, part of the people who were sitting on the train who complained about him, and part of that jury, anybody that was part of any of that, and people in the comments that write online that say it's fine and he got murdered. Any of you people, any of you, God say help stop the loss of children if you can, because Mr. Neely was murdered. Period. And God say move fast on it. Somebody could be like a Capricorn, like an earth sign, or God just telling you all get grounded. Because this man is in his dream house, his apartment, or wherever he lived, living good. But he need to be here. This is where he should have been at. But you didn't put him there. God said he's supposed to be there with that card. Because he moved fast on things. Somebody was inventing for a move to be made, and he made the move wisely. And he choked Mr. Neely to death. Or we can take it to the jury back there, or the judge telling the people they need to make a move, or whatever the judge told them, venting for a move to be made, you got to come to a decision, right? And somebody back there who adventurous like a sage made that move. It might have been the one who was pushing somebody else to make a move, or somebody in the back that was on the jury. We got two of them. Somebody who act like a Virgo, that's business minded, and one like a Sagittarius, right? If they not one. One was pushing for a move to be made out of those drawers, right? Right? It's ridiculous. It really is. In the back with the jury, they wanted the person to take down the walls for love. Go along with this. Take down the walls for love. Go along with this. Go along with us. Come on and give in. Get my drip. Cheer on his achievements. He's a Marine. My brother was a Marine, and my nephew and my father and my uncles was in the Army. I be around Army Marines and Army people on a regular basis, so I don't have no problem with Marines or nobody from the Army or whatever. But don't say because he a Marine, he can just murder somebody. He's not over wherever they be at. You here, you over here. You don't get to just walk up down the street and kill somebody. It don't work like that. Anybody else do that, they'll be trying to cuff them and everything else. I want to change, but I worry about other people. Who are you really? So, Which one is this? Mr. Neely? Let me think for a minute. Let me see the next card. Okay. Mr. Neely, who are you really? God was saying to Mr. Neely, who are you really? I want to change, so I'm going to say right here, on the train with this one. Who are you really? So if he had any kind of drugs in the system, like the people said, right? God talking to him, who are you really? Right? And right here, we can turn this card. I want to change, but I worry about others. So if he has some kind of drug in his system, any kind of way, he wasn't worrying about others. We can turn it around. He wasn't worrying about others, and he wasn't himself, maybe. Because God's saying, who are you really? So, the passengers might have said he was forceful, right? Or Mr. Penny was forceful. Probably jumped him from the back or whatever he must have did. I don't really know what he did. Where Mr. Neely was too dilute on that floor, right? Because he did something by a certain date, and this would be Mr. Penny, whatever date it was. Okay, here we go. He justified, right? What he did was fine, was doing. But Mr. Penny, I'm so sorry. This is Mr. Penny. He was justifying what he was doing on this day, whatever day it was that he did this, where he was forceful, right? But Mr. Neely wanted him to care with me, and that means get off of my neck. Mr. Neely had brown eyes. He is Mr. Penny. He can't, he won't, he not. Get what I'm saying? He not going to care with him. Get what I just said, the first card. Mr. Neely was vibrant. Mr. Penny didn't care if he stayed with him or not. Stay with me. But he is trying to make him stay with him. He is holding him hostage on that floor. Follow me? Follow me? So we have this one. Mr. What's his name? Mr. Penny, him. Maybe he is going to be getting married some kind of way to somebody. Or one of them was gay, or both of them, however it goes, right? So he was nervous because he didn't want to lose his job or lose his woman. And this would be Mr. Penny, I guess, as far as him getting locked up. But he should have thought about that before he put his hands around Mr. Neely's neck. Or the droid was back there. Didn't want him to lose his job. Unfortunately, Mr. Neely was dealing with a she-bear, or we're going to say a he-bear, right? A man in charge, a man about business, a man that take charge. So I'm going to say a he-bear. Get what I just said? He. Here's a Marine. Follow me? Or we dealing with the jury in the back, and one of them people back there was a she-bear. Somebody who tried to force something and make something happen. Follow me? Might have been somebody who wanted to just get back to work. We got all kind of people on the jury. They want to get back to work. They want to get off the jury in general. All kind of stuff be going on with people on the jury because they made to do it, some of them. So they don't want to be there, and then you're making them do it. So they will say anything. They had somebody's life in jeopardy because they want to go home. When you lose a spouse or a friend or a loved one, you are free. Heal yourself by coming forward. So this will be for Mr. Neely's family, because this man wasn't his friend. Okay. That's well. When love calls, I'm so sorry, I said it wrong. You're calling too much. Good work ethics. So we're going to put this with Mr. Neely might have been talking to these people as far as he wanted some water, food, or whatever he was asking these passengers. And he wasn't working probably at the time. He didn't have good work ethics. So we're going to take it to the Marine Mr.Penny. He wanted to incorporate good work ethics by showing how dedicated he is as a person, as a Marine. He can get the job done. He might have heard the people saying something, yelling or whatever they was doing. You're calling too much. Or Mr. Neely was saying whatever the best he could, if he could say anything or holler anything to him, because he wanted what? Loving treatment. Follow me? Okay. So we have right here, he wanted Mr. Penny to be courteous, because he wanted Mr. Penny to have joint custody. That means care with me. Or we're going to turn it around and Mr. Penny did have joint custody with him by holding him by his neck. But he wanted him to be courteous. Okay? Because something come from his childhood. Right? So we got twin. So we have somebody who, I'm going to put the twin with Mr. Neely. And why I say that is because he was a Michael Jackson impersonator. Go look at the videos, you'll see, right? Where he act like Michael, dressed like Michael. So I'm going to say he is a twin, right, to Michael. He was in like that. Or some kind of way some twins was in his family. Or this man, Mr. Penny, might have some twins in his family. He might act like a twin. Or he tried to hook Mr. Neely onto him like they was twins by not letting him go. He was hooking notes, Mr. Penny, with his so-called friends, those passengers on the train, and also those people who was holding Mr. Neely's hand down. Right? But then also the attorneys, the cops, or whoever it is, went and got information from these witnesses, passengers. Who was the passengers? We're going to call them, right? So Mr. Penny didn't know these people, these so-called friends, these passengers. He didn't know them. He was getting information from them along the law and anybody else, right? So when the train, because there's on the subway train, while parking the train, all these people who was involved was going to be, joy bells was going to be ringing. They was going to be happy that Mr. Neely was on the floor, stopped. But then he was murdered. So I don't know how these people felt about him being murdered. I really don't. So Mr. Neely was being adopted. And that means that he was being held. Get my drift. Held. Because somebody got you in a headlock. A chokehold. Right? You being held, right? He is being adopted. He is being held. You know what that means. Look at some wrestling on TV if you don't know what I'm talking about. Person can't get up unless they tap out or they wiggle some kind of way and do something, bite them or do whatever to get the person off of them. Get what I'm saying? Right? He was being adopted. He is being held. Right here, he wanted his parents. At one point, he wanted his parents. Whichever parent it was, he wanted his parents. This a fear card. He wanted his parents. He could have been an adult, but he wanted his parents. He wanted somebody who loved him right there. He wants somebody who loved him right there. I need some help. It's like his mind saying inside, I need some help. I need somebody who loved me to come. Get what I'm saying? Everybody around him was menaces, people he didn't even know. So these people didn't care nothing about him. They just cared about, they didn't want nobody interrupting their calm. He is dealing with a serpent, and that would be that man, Mr. Penny, right? He need to take baby steps in his thinking before he even went and attacked Mr. Neely. So we have, now it's vital to find your path if you're not on it. Yes, you're on your path. So for Mr. Neely, God wanted him to find his path because he wasn't on it. Because if he was high or whatever was going on, or him just being on a train and trying to get to wherever he was going at on that train, he had to find his path. So we're going to turn it around. Yes, you're on your path. So he wound up not going to the path on earth that God wanted him to go to, but he wound up going to God. Get my drift? He went to spirit, and it made him be in his path, on his path, because he was murdered. So we have right here the same card. I shuffled. I might as well put it down. The same card came back. It's amazing. My ex cares. So let's just see how to work this in his storyline. Okay. So this man, Mr. Penny, he might have been dealing with his own problems with his ex, or whoever his ex is, or Mr. Neely was dealing with his ex. Whoever the exes is in their life, whoever they was involved with, if they had somebody. They had somebody, some kind of way, because there's an ex sitting here, right? So Mr. Penny wasn't going to let others put their burdens on him. So right then, if he is dealing with his problems with his love life, whatever it might have been, he dragged that to the train with him. So he wasn't going to let nobody put their burdens on him. So when he saw what was going on the train, he decided he's going to jump in and step in, right? Because he already got problems already, right? But then Mr. Neely could have had an ex, whoever it is, that wasn't caring no more, whatever, that wasn't going to let Mr. Neely put his burdens on him or her or whoever it might have been. Don't want to be bothered, right? So we have Mr. Neely was meeting new people by talking to these people on the train, but he wasn't talking like they wanted him to talk, right? In new personalities, but they didn't like his, right? So Mr. Penny, he met new people and personalities because he met those people on the train. He indulged himself in a situation that was not his business, and he got in it. And he met people also that dived in and held Mr. Neely's arms down, right? So he met these new people who helped him with their personalities, and all these people who complaining that they didn't want him to hit them or whatever they said. He threw his coat on the floor or whatever they said. Okay? So we have right here that Mr. Neely had to create a miracle wisely. The foundation, right? God was going to test him. So we have right here Mr. Penny moved fast on it and committed manslaughter. God don't make mistakes. God know this man committed manslaughter and he's supposed to go to jail. But it got taken a whole nother way. Right? Got number 21, number 12, number 3. So we got January 12th, February 1st, February 12th, March 12th, March. So we have right here that for the best option for Mr. Neely, he had to wear the shield of honor and the helmet of strong for the best option for him. But then for the Marine, he was going to wear the shield of honor and the helmet of strong for the best option for him and use his Marine tactics. I'm trying to say it right. You know what I'm saying? Because it was the markers, right, that he see it now, that he felt like he had to use his Marine skills on the train. Follow me? So activity on people's cell phones or on a camera footage on that train that shows that he did that. Follow me? He's going to come in his defense. But he know the truth. But the cameras know the truth. The cameras show us what we need to see. But he's going to come in his defense or any of these other people who was fine with what he did, right? So we have he was dealing with a kinkster who wanted to supersize. Kinkster is a drug dealer card, so let me just flow a little bit. Or a leader card. So let me see what comes next so I can see how to take it. Okay. So we're gonna say him, the Marine, right? He a leader right here, Marine. Let's put a Marine right here. What's to make him a Marine? Because it's a leader card, any kind of boss. He a Marine. But Mr. Neely, we're going to put right here, wanted to supersize. He wanted to, or we can just say both of them is Mr. Penny. He was a leader. He is a kinkster and he wanted to supersize. But I really wanted to say that Mr. Penny was the kinkster. He a leader, he a Marine, and Mr. Neely wanted to supersize. Wanted to get up, move up, because he had him on the ground, on the floor. So he wanted to go up, because this card means you want to go up. Get what I'm saying? So no growth come from the same sex. So we got two men. This a gay card though, but get what I'm saying? No growth. That means if you two men, you can't have babies together. Get my drift. So I'm going to take it the other way. No growth come from the same sex. So we got God bringing it a whole nother way. This soldier, this Marine, stopped the life of Mr. Neely. No growth. You know what that means. If your flower don't have everything it needs, what happened? It died, right? No growth comes from the same sex. Both of them was men. He stopped his growth. For any of you that don't know what I'm talking about. God told him, your choices are your own. Right? But he decided anyway to keep holding on to his neck. Right? But God's saying on the other side, your choices are your own, Mr. Penny. No growth come from the same sex. No growth come from you keep holding on to Mr. Neely because you're going to kill him. But he ignored what God was saying. Because he already know a chokehold can kill people. He knows that. You don't be no Marine and you don't know nothing. You know things. You only had to be a Marine and know that. Right? Because remember, he in charge up here. He a Marine. I like Marines though. I like Marines. Right? But they ain't got nothing to do with it. As far as me, I don't care if you're a Marine. I don't care who you are. When you're wrong, you're wrong. Because you're sitting right next to the manslaughter card. And you got him wanting his parents over here. Because you're a serpent, God says. You took him to God right here. You ended his path that God had here for him. And then here we have, I forgot what lonely meant. So this would be these people. Any of them people that was complaining that they wanted peace and quiet. I forgot what lonely meant. That means when you don't even hear no noise no more. The people leaving you alone. You done went on about your business. Feel good now. Get what I'm saying? This goes with any of them people who's complaining. It wasn't no kind of sweetness and niceness given to Mr. Neely from none of these people. Now you know that's a messed up. That's New York. That was New York. I wouldn't want to live there for nothing. If this how it is in New York, I wouldn't want to live there for nothing. If that's how it is in New York, where people is mean like that. I saw a lot of New York subway videos online where people fighting and fussing. Not just New York, but mainly New York ones that seem like it be, where they crowding and fighting and fussing and cussing. But yeah, nobody want to be bothered. People thinking it's okay to just murder somebody because somebody say something to you, and then you want to go home and sit down and enjoy your food and say, oh, it's fine, I just killed somebody, it's just fine. You want to just live your life when you done took somebody's whole life away. We're not talking about you taking their house from them. We talking about you took somebody's whole life away because these people didn't want to be disturbed. They didn't want him to beg for water. They didn't like how he was acting. They didn't want him to beg for food. Or they didn't like how he looked at them. This world got to get better. This world got to get better, because if you're sending out any kind of signals and signs to let people think that it's fine to just murder people and you can just go home, you're sending out the wrong signs. Okay, let's put some more out over here. Deep. Let's see what this is. Look at this. Look at this. They was going to see what was right in front of them, and he was in front of them, Mr. Neely, in front of these people, right? And they was going to see what was right for them also, along with Mr. What's his name? Penny, him. Okay. These passengers wanted to be dismantled from Mr. Penny. They wanted to get away from him. They wanted him to get away. But then, strike that. I got to go with the first names. These names is like jogging me a little bit, right? I said the wrong name, right? So I'm going to say Mr. Jordan. How about that? That's his first name. Then I can stick with this Penny, right? Okay, so Mr. Jordan, that's the victim here. They wanted Mr. Jordan, right, to be dismantled. They want to get away. They wanted to get away from him. But then Mr. Penny made it where he was dismantled. The connection, right, with him, with the people and everybody else, because he killed him. He stopped him from framing it for a lifetime. That means living. Okay? Okay. Power stays with the wife, not with the ex. Jerking you around. He had some problems home. Follow me? If he ain't had no problems home, we got a woman that was on that train who was complaining. And he felt like the power stayed with her to help her out. And he felt like Mr. Jordan was jerking the lady around. Or he had problems with his own woman. I'm talking about Mr. Penny now. Right? So when he came on that train, he looked at Mr. Jordan as jerking some lady around. Might have been one main lady who was complaining, running off at her mouth. I don't know. Let's just flow. Okay, it was money time, pension time. So I'm going to say I want to say Mr. Neely, because Mr. Jordan throwing me off too. Okay, Mr. Neely. Mr. Neely, Jordan Neely, his name is, the victim. It was pension time, money time. So some kind of way he was asking for money from these people. Right? Right? So we got this one right here. Mr. Neely wanted to bring back tomorrow. That means make it like it used to be. He wanted it to be like it used to be. He wanted to get up. But Mr. Penny wouldn't let him go to get up. He wanted his life to be like it used to be before, I guess, he got like he got. Whatever was happening in his life. Because on the internet, they make all kind of excuses saying he went to jail, this and that, he was on drugs, or whatever things they say. I don't care what you say about Mr. Neely. That don't have nothing to do with what happened to him right there. This man choking him to death. So don't try to blame the victim and make it seem like it's fine that he was murdered and try to smear his name. Cannot keep trying to smear the victims, period. The man's actions was wrong, and you know it. So don't try to paint him as he's some good soldier, he's some good person, because he's not. He murdered somebody in cold blood right there on that train. And I see it on video. I usually don't look at no videos of people killing people with these police videos or any kind of videos, but that one just came up some kind of way when it came up, and it was kind of thrust. It was like dead in front of me, so I got to see it. I don't even look at those kind of videos. He wanted to be the substitute and not let the police come. He's going to be the cops. He's taking charge like he the cops. But nobody should have been killing anybody. He should have been escorted off the train. That's what it's supposed to have been, people. I don't care about you don't want somebody around you who not clean or who begging you for money or who asking you for food. How do you feel? I guess you feel pretty good that he got murdered and you think that's fine. This world needs a lot of cleaning up. If you think he need to be cleaned up, you better look at your own life. You need to be cleaned up. Okay? So we have right here that he had to show that he can build his future and cheat on his fortune. So he wanted things to be like it used to be. He was going to, because my first video I did 9 months back or whenever it was on my channel shows that he was kind of on his way somewhere. He is on his way somewhere, or he was trying to get himself back to that some kind of way. To what it used to be or something like that. He might have been going somewhere, somebody he know with work or whatever it was, because he was trying, and because God talking about creating and getting himself strong right here, building a foundation. And over here we got the two. He wanted things to be like it used to be in his life, cheat on his fortune, and show that he can build his future again. That's his flow. Okay, so the stalking had to end. So the stalking ended. So the people on the train, or the passengers, they called it stalking. And the stalking was him talking to him or whatever he was doing. They called it stalking. Get what I'm saying? It's considered stalking. Talking or whatever, right? And they felt it had to end, and it did end. Get what I'm saying? Because he's murdered. Okay? Okay, let's see. Because they live a sofa of a life. Right? Or they felt like he was living a sofa of a life. He was homeless. So they felt he lived a sofa of a life. That means he ain't doing nothing. He not working. I'm going to say that, right? Because I think he was homeless. But he is equipped for the best, but he wasn't doing what they felt he should have been doing. And that is working. Anything like that. So he wanted jointness. Maybe one of those people. But he wanted jointness with a trailblazer. And the Marine up here, Mr. Penny, he was the trailblazer. The leader. Right? He wanted jointness. That means let me go. Let me go. Let me go. He is unique in his era living. So he could have been wherever he was living. He might have lived from one person's house to the next, or in the park. I don't know where he was living. Okay, let's just look. Okay, let's see. The university norm. Okay, I saw it hard. I gotta get it. I saw it morally. I don't know where it's at. But anyway, it was a card morally. I don't know, I lost it some kind of way. Okay, yeah, right here. Morally, one of these people know that it was wrong what was done to Mr. Yeah, morally, one of these people knew that it was wrong what was done to Mr. Neely. One of them, morally. Whoa. Okay. Bear with me, I'm going to take this off. Bear with me for a minute. Okay, let's see. Okay, morally, somebody, whoever, because this what the other one would be the Marine card, so this could be somebody else. Maybe one of the people was holding Mr. Neely down, or one of the attorneys, or somebody. Somebody, morally, somebody knew it was wrong, what was done, period. Whoever it is. Okay, let's just see. I'm trying to end it. Okay, this jumped out because this is so true what happened to Mr. Neely. Somebody was fence watching, and fence watching means you're a witness. So we had a lot of witnesses on that train, okay, that watched them get X'd out. That mean murder in his. I'm not even going to use other definitions because they wouldn't work with this. He was murdered. And that's what happened to him. So this goes accurate. The first meaning, he was murdered. He was X'd out. Bottom line. Okay, so we have, let me just see. I'm trying to end it. At the beginning, I already said at the beginning. It already said at the beginning. Okay, let's just see. Okay, one more. Stop. Okay. So I'm trying to end it. I'm really trying right now. I hear ballet. Maybe somebody do ballet or something. I don't know. Ballet. Okay, I don't know. Maybe dance. Maybe Mr. Neely went to dance school. I don't know. I hear ballet. What's this for? Or maybe Mr. Penny. If he had a woman or whoever he had connected might do ballet. I don't know. I'm hearing ballet. But it could be just dance. You know, because Mr. Neely did dance. Remember, he was an impersonator. Michael Jackson impersonator. Look online and see. People always want to just look at bad things. We got too many people in the world that's and we got to turn this world around. We're going to turn this world around. Got to be turned around because we got too many people that's negative and don't want to do good and want to be evil and mean and racist and everything else and killers and everything else that go with it. There's too much of that. We got to turn this world around and make this world a better place. You heard what Michael said. Heal the world and make this a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. And I just say deep. We got Mr. Penny. If he wasn't happy with things, he was going to do things the right way. And he felt like he had a burden, and the burden for him was Mr. Neely, and he X'd him out right there. Morally, he was wrong. But that's not him right here. There's somebody else. Morally, somebody was wrong up there. He is Mr. Neely. I'm scared. Look at this. I'm scared. He can call somebody. So he might was trying, but he might couldn't, because if somebody got you in a chokehold, you might can't even talk. Look at Mr. Neely. Look at Mr. Neely begging for his life. Spare me. Look at Mr. Neely. Spare me. Tilton, he was leaned over whichever way he was. Spare me. That's what it means. Is when this card goes with, and this is a murder storyline, so I got to use it the right way. This card is somebody begging for their life, and you kill them anyway. He is Mr. Penny and all of these people. Those passengers. Don't force your ways on me. You homeless. You hungry. You need money. You need water. Don't force your ways on us. Because that's what you said. Right? But then we got Mr. Penny, this man who the Marine. He going to force his ways on Mr. Neely because he got his own problems going on. So he came and brought his stuff there. But he wasn't in the darn army right then. He was not over there. He should have left that over there. Can I come out without you leaving me? So this is a gay card. So he might be not straight, or one of them, right? So if we forget that part then and don't take it to there, right? Can I get up? Right? What's his name? Mr. Penny. If he let him go, will he just stay there and wait for the cops? See, I can take it another way. Can I come out without you leaving me? Right? So if I take it another way, we're going to say, Mr. Penny, if I let you go, will you not leave? Will you just stay here? Get what I'm saying? I'm trying to change the card around for a minute. But he didn't give him that opportunity. So we have right here, he worked hard on it. Holding him in that chokehold. On whatever day. It don't have to be Wednesday or Friday, but whenever. Okay, I'm going to get up for a minute. I have to get up for a minute. I'm gonna pause it for a minute. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Let's just see. Okay, we have somebody, mother. So it could be who's a mother? Maybe one of the ladies on the train was a mother. If not that, maybe this would be Mr. Neely's mother. Maybe it's thinking about his mother. If not that, maybe one of the ladies on the train is a mother. Let's see. Okay, give me my key back. Somebody was going back. Maybe Mr. What's his name? Mr. Penny might have had a female friend of his, woman or whoever. She wanted her key back, or he was. Let me see, blackest class. It's a racist card. Let's see, I am ready for love. Who is this? Wait a minute. Okay, so we make this Mr. Neely. Maybe somebody asked for their key back from him, or asked for something back from him, or somebody on a train some kind of way, or is Mr. Penny is somebody and a woman who's a mother though. Blackest class. See, this is a racist card, so it was some racism going on that train. Actually, with the trial too, right? One of them witnesses. I mean, what you call them? Witnesses, the jurors. Those people. Somebody up in there, especially on that train. I am ready for love. So he was ready for love, to be treated right. Get what it's saying? Water. A piece of bread, a corner of bread, whatever it might have been, he was saying. But it was racism. Get what I'm saying? He might have been dealing with, it might have been a mother on that train. Somebody who was a mother on that train. So we have, You enjoy okay, you enjoy other men. I want out. This is a gay card, but I'm going to turn it around for Mr. Neely's murder. Don't force want to do God mission without lovemaking. So Mr. Neely, if Mr. Neely, let me see which way. This could be this man, Mr. Penny, or Mr. Neely. One of them. I'm trying to see. I don't. This is a racist card right there, though. So let's just see right here. You enjoy other men. I want out. So I can take this and make it go with the murder and say that Mr. Penny enjoy other men by having these other two people helping him to hold Mr. Penny down, hold Mr. Neely down. Mr. Neely saying, I want out. He want out of this chokehold. You enjoy other men. You being friends with these people helping to hold me down. I can take it another way, but it is a gay card. Follow me? So Mr. Neely was going to do God's mission without lovemaking. So he might have been a gay man, right? But however it was, if he wasn't, he was by himself. He wasn't with nobody. He was going to do God's mission, whatever God's mission was. Follow me? So we have right here that he likes style maybe, and he might like having fun. Okay? Let's just follow. So we have right here, it says a party, a gathering, or whatever he joined, whatever time period, right? So he might have been going to go for a job interview. If not that, we're going to put this with the train. It was different people on the train, right? And that was a gathering. So if it wasn't that, we're going to take this to Mr. Penny, and that would be the court, right? The jury, the court, anybody in there, right? So we have right here, so this is a bad card when you're mad with somebody. So somebody was upset, walking. They say walking down the street, but I'm going to say on the train, right? Upset. Hot with Mr. Neely. Follow me? But leave it up to the passengers. They say Mr. Neely was walking and he was hot and mad with people, right? So, if it was done to you, would you say that? Right? You are no better than nobody else. So, they felt like Mr. Neely was no better than nobody else. If it was done to him, he wouldn't like it. Being approached or being threatened or whatever they say he did, right? But, as far as Mr. Neely is concerned, if it was done to you, would you like it? And that is being choked and being mistreated or being denied or whatever he might have been feeling like, or people out in the world who is protesting or want to protest or talking about the trial or whatever. Anybody like that maybe. So it was seed time, and that was a sure thing as far as some kind of way for Mr. Neely was trying to get maybe some money from somebody to get something to eat. If it wasn't that, we dealing with the seed time, and it's a sure thing. Something as far as the Marine and some money he going to be getting, or Mr. Neely's family going to be getting, or these people was going to work maybe, and they was going to get their paycheck, or they did get paid already, or whatever's going on there with the money. He chose the one for full bloom. This is a marriage card. So Mr. Neely chose the one for full bloom, somebody he wanted to marry, or this Marine did, Mr. Penny. Okay? So if we take it away from marriage, we can make it a job, but it really is a marriage card. So finally, Mr. Penny, let me see. Yeah, see, this is a bad card. This is a God card. I mean, it's bad when it comes to this storyline because he was murdered. I'm going to have to say it this way. For Mr. Penny, he in a safe and happy place. That means he with God. He in spirit. But he found somebody for full bloom that he might wanted to marry, some person maybe that he really liked maybe. But if we turn it around to the Marine, Mr. Penny, he picked somebody for full bloom, or a job that he liked full bloom, and that would be the Marine. If not the Marine job, a woman or whoever it is, right? For a wife that he might want to marry. If not that, is being a Marine, one or the other. Follow me? And he felt like he was in a safe and happy place, and he felt he accomplished something. Being a Marine, he felt like he accomplished something. He in a safe and happy place. He accomplished what he accomplished by attacking Mr. Neely. Okay, so we must talk. So, Mr. Neely had pretty eyes. So the Marine, strike that. Mr. Neely had pretty eyes, and somebody wouldn't talk. I mean, he wanted somebody to talk. Maybe the people there, he was trying to have them talk, or the Marine, he wanted him to talk before he murdered him, that is, right? So we have right here that Mr. Neely existed for a bigger reason than what any of these idiots thought. That's what my mind is saying, right? He existed for a bigger reason than what any of you thought. Even you people on the juror, right? On the jury. He is ready to be guided to his path. Because you all cheapened his life. You all, everybody on that train who was part of it, and especially the culprit, and that would be that Marine, Mr. Penny, but also the people on the jury. You cheapened his life. You said his life was worth not 1 cent when you let that man go home. Okay? Because here we have right here. You can't see it good. It's green. I'm going to tell you what it says. That Mr. Neely was tattered, right? And he needed a miracle. Follow me? He was keeping his cool. Well, everybody keeping their cool. Was keeping their cool because they felt like he had unstoppable energy. But this Marine had unstoppable energy because he would not stop choking him. Follow me? He needed to pick one, a career. Right? Mr. Penny or the Marine, right? Okay? So we have right here, this is a disease card. So let's just flow how I'm going to put this in here. Let's see. I can take it another way. This is a disease though, right? But I can take it a whole nother way. Let's just see how these cards come in. Plantation we're living in. That was Mr. Neely, correct? He wanted you to let him into your world. Give him some water. Give him some food, right? So let's take it this way. Intensity. Cover your genitals. So I'm going to take it another way instead of cover your genitals. Right? You felt like he was homeless. He had some kind of disease. Right? You wanted to protect yourself from him. So I'm going to take it another way from his genitals. Right? In romance. So I'm going to take it to you wanted to protect yourself. You felt he might have a disease because he was homeless. How about that? Because you want to go full force, right? And grow your business. That means go to work if you was on your way going to work or whatever. Or we had a Marine, Mr. Penny was going to go full force and grow his business. That means be the Marine that he is, right? That means continue his job if he overseas or wherever he is or not. He was going to continue, right? We got number 7, July. So we have right here that life was falling apart for Mr. Neely. He didn't have enough of something. Plantation we're living. Food, shelter, money, clothing, love. Did I say everything? Housing. I don't know if I said everything. He wanted the people on the train, whoever he's talking to let me into your world. Give me a bite of food, a half a bottle of water, some money or whatever he was saying, some attention or whatever he was asking for. But also he wanted this Marine with unstoppable energy, with that card right there, to get up off of his neck, right? But keep your dignity. Nobody had dignity. Okay? Because he is dealing with a leader, and that would be the Marine, right? Let me take it to the trial. Let me see. I'm going to take it to the trial. Let me see. The leader. Marine is the leader that wanted him to stop negative talk, because if the passengers say he was talking negative talk, right? Thoughts swirling in their minds where they was getting anxious, the passengers, or thoughts were swirling in Mr. Neely's mind where he was getting anxious. Okay, anything like that? Silly of me to think I could fool you. So this is a God mission card. So he was gay. Okay. This is for number 4. So here we are right here with the passengers. What is it, the passengers? Wait a minute. I feel with my other card, with my other storyline, it was like Mr. Neely was on his way to like some kind of, to go see somebody he used to know that Mike was going to give him a job or help him or give him a home or whatever. He's on his way there, because it's looking like that right here with these cards right here. So let's just flow a little bit. So Mr. Neely got on a bus, on the train, I'm sorry, and whoever he wanted these people to be there for him. He wanted one of them to say, "I'm here for you," to give him something when he asked, but it didn't happen. Or it's somebody he know he's getting on the subway and he's going to go visit some kind of way, that said that just get on the subway and come my way, I'm here for you. Anything like that. Or he wanted any of these people on the train he was talking to be there for him, and that means give him something, right? So he is going to be dealing with an office, and it was going to be sweet. So if he was going to go for a job, some kind of way, any kind of way, or job, housing office, job, or agency, or whatever, it's going to be sweet for him. Get my drift, what I'm saying, right? He was going to never stop wanting the best out of love for his life, and know that he had to love himself first always. So he had cold feet a little bit maybe about going there, because he's going to go to whoever this person is that said the person might help him, agency or whatever it may be. He had cold feet about it, but he wanted a peace treaty. Follow me? So he lost himself, but no more, because it was okay for him to let him or her go. The person was going to always know he loved the person. So they said his mother died whenever she died. So this card says that it's all okay to let him or her go. So if it was his mother, it was okay to let his mother go. She was going to she always knew he loved her, because he lost himself. Get what the card saying. You lost yourself, but no more. Get what the card saying, right? Unless it's a love interest, right? So things was going to start to look good for him, because if he was going to go to an agency, or office, a job, or wherever he's going to go, somewhere to get housing or whatever, things were going to start to look good for him. Follow me? So on the train, it was rallying, fussing, anything like that. This goes with the train. So we have somebody was all in their feelings, and they was going to go get their feelings, and also him. So here we have right here, can we really be friends? And these people here, any of these people on that train felt like, no, we can't be friends. No, we can't be friends. You're not my friend. We can't be friends. So here it is. The murder. What's the cost of a life? Because none of these people wanted to give him a cup of water, an ounce of water, a piece, a corner off the bread, or anything else. No kind of love they demonstrated. And then it went down the line to this man, Mr. Penny, where he jumped him from the back or whatever he did to grab his neck. Because he had to do it from the back. He definitely didn't do it from the front. Right? And then them other people holding his hand where he can't get the man's hand off his neck. Arm off his neck. Bunch of cowards. Okay? So he's not a hero, people. That was coward. Okay? All three of them. Okay? So I'm saying it. Okay? And do something backwards. People can't defend themselves. That's a coward way of being. That's a coward. People can't defend themselves. That's a coward. 3 people jumping on one person. That's a coward. No hero. Talking about. Okay, let's just see. He supposed to went to jail. We got a judge here and everything. And he still ain't go to jail. We got the cops on one side. We got the judge on another side. And look, God said he's supposed to went to jail. Here's the card right here. I showed you a jail card already. God coming back again. You still didn't put him in jail though. Didn't I see that this time around card? I thought I saw it this time. Great say. I thought I saw it. I really thought I saw that card. But anyway. Got a judge card and everything. And this man still ain't go to jail. That's crazy. Symbol, logo, or company. That would be the courthouse. Symbol, logo, or company. So he have he a Marine, so that's a symbol, right? Whatever they wear on their clothes, right? Or the courthouse, the subway station, or whatever, right? After we move in, then what? Are you divorced or playing house? So this is let me see what comes next. Placement. So I don't know. Are we divorced or playing house? So I don't know. He had some problem with his person he had home, or Mr. Neely, whoever he had, right? Or if Mr. Neely was on his way to go get some kind of housing, an agency, a job, or anything with some old friend of his that he stopped being friends with, or Mr. Penny with some person he was hooked on to, or are we separated, or we just gonna play house, or after we move in, are we gonna, you know, make this work or anything like that? Him and some person he know, Mr. Penny, or this card right here is for Mr. Neely. Take it however it goes. Right? He need to look in the mirror at things with a situation with some person he might have had back then, or Mr. Neely. Get what I just said, right? Taurus love somebody like a earth sign, act like a earth sign, or one of these people was like a earth sign, Mr. Neely or Mr. Penny. Right? Needed to show love though. Okay? If they had somebody, a partner or somebody they left before, or a partner in general, they was wondering, did their partner ever care? Get what I'm saying? Or was they a placement? Either one of them. You heard me say, right? So we have, if we dealing with Mr. Neely was kind of agency or anything like that, he was wondering if they really cared. Was he just a placement? Okay. Okay, so we have right here that bills was piling up. A lot of money was being spent and bills was piling up. As far as Mr. Penny's household or whatever's going on there, or Mr. Neely or somebody he know, or we just talking about the trial and all the money that goes into having a trial and stuff like that. Maybe did they really even care? They need to look in the mirror at things. Really look in the mirror. Did they really even care? Tell her, mention me, Mr. Neely. I don't know who he want me to tell because his mother not alive. So whatever lady in his life that he know, because this would be Mr. Neely. He's the deceased. Mr. Neely, tell your story. Mention me, Mr. Jordan Neely. The brat's loved one. Tell. Do I shuffle? Don't do it. Okay, I won't do it. All right? Here's pinching the surface of a thing. Right? What else, Mr. Neely? Tell your story. They was walking all over you, right? Gathering up all kind of information about you. Yeah. To kind of use and say all kind of things as far as to make you look like the worst person. So when this trial happened, that you would kind of be depicted as the worst person in the world, like you deserve to be murdered. Or those people on the train were saying whatever they were saying, right? Okay? They rose to the occasion to beat him at his own game, right? Or we have all of those witnesses, all of those people rose to the occasion to beat him at his own game. So he was murdered, and then they gonna beat him again. You done murdered him, he got murdered, and then you're gonna beat him again by letting the culprit go free. I told you, I saw this in here. He is God, never God card. This man's supposed to be in jail. Look at God saying, this time around, you're supposed to fill a jail. That's 2 jail cards. And they didn't let it happen. And look, we got a judge right here. Look at the judge. Look at him. Look at the judge. There's a judge, ain't it? I don't even know if he got tensed up. His face looks so stoned, I can't tell what his mind was thinking like. But it said he was tensed up in front of the judge, right? Look at this. Okay? These. It is easy to leave things to others and escape. So he hooked himself on and ran from his problems. So when he went on the train and he was on the train, nope, we might take this to the judge because the judge put it in the jury's hands, they said, right? Then I hear on there, they said the judge gave it to the jury or whatever he did. So let's take it to the judge. He gave it to the jury. Right? Or I can take it with I'm going to take it both ways. See how God taking this thing, right? I'm going to take it to the judge sitting right here. Right? So we have right here that the judge hooked himself on and ran from any problems. I'm going to say the judge right here because it was easy to leave things to others and escape. I'm going to say the judge right here because the judge gave it to the people and told them to do it or whatever he told them. Because they said the judge did something. Changed something around. They said it wasn't right or whatever I heard on the internet or whatever it might have been. So he gave it to the jury and told them to work it out or whatever he told them. I just don't know what he told them unless I actually hear it some kind of way myself. So I can't tell you exactly. So if I take this to Mr. Neely, it was easy. If I put it with Mr. Neely, he hooked himself on and ran from his problems. That means he went on the train and he hooked himself on to all them people that he was, who said he was giving them trouble, and he ran from his problems. So he hooked himself on to talking to these people or whatever, being in their company, right? It was easy to leave things to others and just escape, right? So by him escaping, that means he didn't do everything he needed to be able to get everything he needed. And he is leaving it to others. And that means asking these people for food and money or whatever. Get what I'm saying? That would be his escape. Okay? Because right here, some food. See, it's coming here, the food coming behind it. Meat with sauce. So somebody, he might have wanted some meat with some sauce, or somebody might have been eating it in there. Or somebody actually had it in their bag on that train. Okay? We got number 21, or number 12, number 3. He wanted them to care more, open the door to care more, right? But God wanted also. So we have Mr. Neely saw that he was meant for greatness. He had to just get himself back on track, right? Why did he allow people to mold him, right? Well, this would be the Marine. The Marine, I got tongue-tied. The Marine felt he was meant for greatness. They like green, you can't see it. Well, the Marine thought he was meant for greatness, right? But why did he allow himself to be molded? Because being a soldier, you molded, you trained, you molded, right? So he felt he was meant for greatness, right? But we turn it to Mr. Neely. God said Mr. Neely was meant for greatness, right? Why did he allow himself to be molded, right? So, and molded for Mr. Neely is to not be working and getting to his best that he could be, where he had to depend on asking these people for food and something to drink and all this kind of stuff and being humiliated. That's what the molding is, right? He need to get to his focus point and be that butterfly, God says, right? Because he gave his ex too much power, whoever his ex was, because he wanted to be picked by ex-boss, ex-lover, or ex-landlord or somebody, I don't know. Or we got Mr. Penny. He wanted to be picked by somebody, whoever he wanted to be picked by, some ex that he gave power to. Get what I'm saying? Okay? So we can turn it to the actual train ride and say that Mr. Neely is considered what you call, what's his name? Mr. Penny is considered an ex here. And this would be Mr. Penny. Pick me, that mean let me go, spare me, anything like that. And we gonna have Mr. Penny would be this person here that had all this power, right? He had all this power. You see it say power on here, right? He was given too much power, right? Where he sit there and murdered a man and everybody applauded to that thing, right? They ain't clap, but they might as well clap because none of them stopped it. Mr. Neely wanted to be picked. He wanted his life spared. Get what I'm saying, right? So he put Mr. Neely in a spirit. This is a spirit card. You can't see it good. I'm going to tell you what it says. Your loved one is here in spirit. You heard what I just said right there, right? And then you see this card coming behind it. Do not be held hostage to the death. This for the family. But I'm going to take it to these passengers and Mr. Penny and those other two men who held his arms down when he was putting his arms up to tap out. I saw his arm over there, that right arm, I think it was. I saw that. I saw his arm. So we got you people, all of you involved, every passenger who was right there in the mix complaining about him, to the two men who was holding his arms, to that man Penny who was choking him out, to all the jurors that sit there and thought it was fine, to all the people on the internet who's writing in the comments thinking it's fine that because he a Marine he can just murder people, or because Mr. Neely was homeless or he was on drugs or whatever they were saying about him, that he deserved to die. This is for any of you people, right? Right here. You feel like you're not going to hold yourself hostage to the death of Mr. Neely. You fine with that thing. You don't care. You're not going to be worrying about him, right? It was competition in business and it was cruddy. So this is a work card. So for Mr. Neely at the time, it was competition in business and it was cruddy. For him would mean that he couldn't get work. Or we could be just dealing with all the people on the train, period. Or we could just be dealing with the court system. Even though that's not a court system card, I can make it that just off of it's cruddy that they let this man walk. Right? Because somebody might want to go back to work, go to work. And it was work. Being on the jury is work. It's like a part-time job. And you got to get into it. You got to be in it. You can't be half in it. You got to be in it. You can't let people tell you what to do back there. You got to think with your own brain like the judge tell you. Competition. You know what that means? Competition. You got somebody going against you. Get what I'm saying? Work. The jury. We might hear somebody that's on that jury that was a Gemini or act like a Gemini. It was going to be Frank. It's a Conrad. Might have been one person that was against. It could have been one person that was against. But then everybody was coming down on a person maybe. But you don't supposed to give in. I don't care what they say. You don't supposed to give in. I don't care what they say. I don't care what they say. The judge said you got to come up with a decision. But if the judge wants you to follow all the rules he said, he can't make you say something that ain't right. You can't sit and say, well, make the right decision, and tell somebody when they make the right decision, oh, no, I don't want that. Either you want them to do it or you don't. They're just going to work it for success. Those people in that jury box, them people there. Because it probably was one that was against. Follow me? They're just going to work it for success. Because somebody was going through, one of them was getting tortured maybe by the rest of them. Or, yeah, some kind of way. Or somebody in the group was feeling like they was tortured because it was one that was holding back. Or we can take this to Mr. Neely. He was being tortured. But Mr. Penny was going to work it for success. Get what I just said. So if we dealing with him with work and going back to work or anything like that, where he went through torture and, wait a minute. Sorry about that. Okay, like where were we? Oh yeah, if we dealing with people on the train, they felt like they was being tortured, and Mr. Neely was, Mr. Penny was working it for success for them, and that would be by doing what he did, if we take it there, right? Mr. Neely wanted the people to taste his charm, and that is just given to him to help him. He would try anything to get them to give in to him. Follow me? Or we dealing with Mr. Neely or Mr. Penny with their love of life with somebody they know that they might have separated from, that they might want to go back to. Unless it was business or something, so Mr. Neely needed to work on his problems, but not there on the train. Those passengers who was complaining about him, or the man Mr. Penny, or the two men who was holding Mr. Neely. Any of them people need to work on their problems, because all of them had problems, and they need not do it on the train. Even down to the jury, whatever was going on in their home life or whatever was going on, they got dragged to that jury box where, you know, people want you to kind of go along with what they saying because they want to go home early and all kind of nonsense. I've been on a jury. I know. I've been on a murder jury before. I know how it is. But you ain't getting me to give into nothing that I don't believe. Okay, so they need to work on their problems. And that's what they was doing in that jury room, because it was competition. And it was cruddy. You know what that means, right? In that jury room. Trying to work it out. At least one of them didn't want to do it. At least one of them. It was challenging. Somebody spectated and challenged it. Maybe the person in the jury room back there challenge the person, try to push it. They try to push you, but it don't supposed to be like that. Or we gonna take this to Mr. Penny. He spectated and he challenged. Mr. Penny challenged Mr. Neely. Like I said, he had to grab him from the back. He had to grab him from the back. So I don't feel like that's really a challenge. If you only face to face with somebody, how is you really challenging? Okay. So he had anxiety looking at it, looking at things as Mr. Neely's fault, what happened to him, or what was going on was his fault. So he spectated and he challenged things, and he went and he did what he did. At that time period back then, Mr. Neely couldn't be ashamed of what was true. He was homeless, he was hungry, he was thirsty of what was going on with his own drugs or whatever they said. He was just wondering who he was. He's doing conscious living. So we had a lawsuit right here his family might take out. Okay, we got cops here, but then we got Mr. Penny made it seem like he was a cop. He's stepping in like he was a cop. Look at this. Look at this card. But you people who don't know what this word means, this mean a black person. Follow me? Okay, look at the card says seeking revenge. Look at the card says seeking revenge. On what? The Negro. That mean what it mean, right? So Mr. Penny was seeking revenge on the Negro, on the black man, right? Because he felt like he spectated up here, and he was going to challenge that thing, right? He got anxiety. He looked at it as Mr. Neely's fault, but Mr. Neely couldn't be ashamed of what was true. He was wondering who he was, messed up or homeless or what was going on with him, feeling all kind of ways. This card says right here, number 43 or 34. Yeah, or maybe that's about a lawsuit. So let's just say, so it's a lot. So at least one of them drawers was coerced and pushed. At least one of them. Going up this story on, at least one of them. Because this man's supposed to be behind bars. It's like 3 cards just telling me that. This man's supposed to be behind bars. God said it from the beginning. This man's supposed to be behind bars. Period. You messed up right there. You messed up big time. God gonna deal with each one of you people who did that. God gonna deal with you spiritually. God is man's law and is God's law. If you never heard of God's law, it's a such thing as God's law. Spiritual law. Okay, so let me just say a little bit more and then we're going to end it. I'm hearing, bow out gracefully, hold the key, now baby. Somebody wants somebody to bow out gracefully because you hold a key. Whenever you call me, I will be there. Bow out gracefully because you hold a key. Whenever you want me, I will be there. So in that jury room, somebody wanted somebody to bow out gracefully because the person held the key. Whenever you call me, I will be there. So when the judge say, juror number 2, is that your decision, or whatever they be saying? You know what they say. Juror number 5, is that your answer, or whatever they saying? So whenever you call me, I will be there. So they wanted it to be where when the judge say whatever the judge say. I don't think it's the judge who said. I think the judge do say it though. People wanted you to say, yeah, guilty, or whatever it is. Deep. That's what God given me. That's what happened on the journey of Mr. Neely as far as this trial. Deep. Because Mr. Neely he wasn't seeing everything with full eyes. Because if he was on something, as they say, he wasn't seeing everything with full eyes. But then we had a Marine, might have been looking and was seeing things with full eyes and felt like he wasn't going to be disrespected. But nobody was even talking to him, so I don't know why he would feel disrespected. Right? Nobody wasn't even talking to him, so he had nothing to do with it. Okay, so let me just take a little bit more and just call it the day. Call it it. Okay, one more. Okay, so I'm going to end it now. Yeah, somebody wanted to end it now. Somebody wished they could be like a fly on the wall and see what was going on in the jury room. Deep. Somebody wanted to make arrangements to get out of that camp. Somebody wanted to get out the jury. It was a sensitive issue, but somebody wanted to get out. Right here. It was at least one person that didn't want to didn't want that. At least one of them. Yep, right here, pick one. At least one person. At least one of them. but the person is pressured. No joking around. Because it was static. Yep. Okay, stop. Okay. Okay, let's just see. Okay, let's take these and then I'm going to call it quits. Okay. That torture keep coming out. He was tortured. Terrible. They thought they was better than him. All of them. Even down the people in the jury. Tell it like it is. It was pros and cons. Dealing with money. Okay, that's it. Stop. Okay, that's it. That's a wrap. I'll say stop with this card. Deep. Okay, that's it. Okay, that's it for Mr. Neely. I'm going to put the rest right here. So, let's see. This goes with the jury, though. Let's see. Let's go with the jury right here. It's a sensitive issue. But they needed to tell him the truth, tell the judge the truth, or because somebody wished they could be like a fly on the wall. It would be freeing to see what was going on in that jury room, because somebody wanted somebody to pick one and they had the look of confidence because it was static and they were still in there, still here. Because somebody wanted to make arrangements to get out of that camp. Get what I just said? That means get out that jury room. They wanted it over with, period. At least one of them people. We even had one that might was disrespecting the other. Needed to see it with full eyes and was trying to make the other one do something, but yeah, let's just see. Person might have felt restricted. Felt restricted, had no way out, gotta go that direction with these people. Need to apologize for it though. If you went along with these people, these jurors, and you know that you didn't want to, because God said you've seen it with full eyes. Somebody might have said whatever where you felt disrespected. You might have felt you had no way out. Or you was restricted. You need to apologize to the family, to Mr. Neely. Because you shouldn't have gave in. I don't care what they said to you. I don't care what they said to you. You shouldn't have gave in. That's what happened on the journey in that jury room. Because somebody was opinionized whether or not it was work worthy, and it just simply means would you give in and change your answer? And you did, evidently. You was isolated, dealing with the coping mechanism. You was isolated, and it was those people. Because somebody in there was like a shark trying to get you to change up or to make up your mind. Follow me. Okay, let's see. Somebody was going to absorb to see if you was genuine as far as your answer. Just thinking about God though. In the back of your mind, but you've got to put God in the front. Okay? And this goes with a juror, what you heard me just say. It was pros and cons. You didn't want no smoke back there with the juror again. Okay, so we have at nighttime, and somebody's making money at night. So one of the jurors or somebody was making money at night, work at night, or anything as far as that. Might then want to get fired or something like that. I don't know if this was the daytime or nighttime when this happened with Mr. Neely, I don't know. Or somebody wanted him to come to work at night, but I don't know. There's going to be pros and cons. Maybe a job he was going to go see about or something like that. The job was going to be at night, or one of these people on the train might work at night, or the Marine, he might work at night. Somebody work at night. One of the passengers, or we deal with one of the jurors. There's pros and cons. Okay, so you know they're cheating. It's your turn to rise. So, as far as on the jury right here, you know they cheating just mean that if you really didn't want to give in, you know it wasn't right, but you went along with it anyway, and God said that it was your turn to rise. You shouldn't have went along with what they told you, because you know they're cheating. You knew it wasn't right. Your mind and your whatever it was about you was telling you no, and you went along with what they said. So that's considered cheating, because the judge be telling everybody to have their own mind when they go back there, not just be coerced and somebody make you make a decision. The judge wants you to make your own decision off of what the evidence or whatever you take back there. It was your turn to rise and stand up for Mr. Neely. But whoever you is, you didn't. So you're going to have to apologize. You're going to have to apologize. Because you know they was cheating. It's called cheating when everything is not like it's supposed to be. And you was like pushed into it some kind of way. Okay? Or somebody gave into it because somebody was talking about work or whatever. They got to go to work or whatever's going on. They want to lose their job or whatever the heck this is. Might have been torturing you, nagging you, or pushing for you to give in. Person was crying out for attention. That means come on and agree with us so we can get this verdict in or whatever, anything like that. So I'm going to take this over here for Mr. Neely for right now. Mr. Penny and those two, I gotta say henchmen, those two people he had hooked onto him that was holding Mr. Neely down. They was what you call cheating. That's what you call banking. If you don't know, banking mean when people, more than one person fight somebody, right? That's what was happening to Mr. Neely on that train. They weren't actually fighting, but they're holding him. That's as good as fighting. Get what I'm saying? It was his turn to rise, but they wouldn't let him rise and stand up. Get what I'm saying? They tortured him. Torture me not. Follow me? They saw that he was crying out for attention, but they cared less. Follow me? So Mr. Neely or Mr. Penny, one of them, they had some love interest or somebody that they might have missed. I miss you. Follow me? That one of them wanted to be picked. It's like you have an old love interest and you want them to take you back. Anything like that. He was being himself, Mr. Neely, or the Marine was being himself, right? We got number 19, number 10, number 91. We got birds, meditation. Okay? Okay, had a lot of energy. The Marine, because he was not letting go. Somebody might like yellow, red in colors. Any of those people, any of the passengers, any of the jurors, anybody. Okay, so somebody thought they was better than Mr. Penny. Strike that. Somebody thought they was better than Mr. Mr. Neely. Whatever the race. They don't have to be this, but whatever their race is. Follow me? So I don't know what the jurors look like. If they had a juror that didn't look like, all of them looked the same and one looked different, somebody thought this better than. If not anything as far as the jurors, we get in with the passengers or whatever. Right? So we have, and People stop saying that when people of color are not black people. They not black people. They whatever color they are, and black people are black people, okay? So let's just clear that up, okay? Because that's used in certain situations, you know, but don't use that in certain situations, because black people's black people. They stand on their own. Everybody stand on their own, so keep it that way, okay? Because they said the people who helped Mr. Neely down was people of color. They wasn't black people. I don't know what they were, right? So we have Mr. Neely had an intentions of a maze life at the time. So if he was on drugs or if he was homeless or whatever was going on with him, you know, he was having problems. It was like a maze for his life at the time. But God said he is going to be that flower. He had to grow into that flower. Okay? So if we take it to one of these drawers, a female. It don't have to be a female, but I feel like it's a woman because it says she on the back of this card. Or I can make it a he, but I think it's a female. She had the intentions of a maze life. But God wanted her to be that flower. Grow into the flower. Don't let people dominate and control you and lure you this way or that way. Be that flower, right? Somebody was amazed that she did it. Astonished that she did it. And what she did was go along with these people, knowing that she didn't agree. But God wanted her to go into the flower, but she didn't go into the flower. She went along with these people. They astonished she did it, though, because they was trying to check and observe to see if she was genuine. Was she going to stick to the decision once the judge asked, juror number 1, is this your decision? Juror number 10, you know what the judge says, right? So we have, it was wake up time. It was time for these jurors to continue their life. Where they can just go on and go free. Go in home. Right? So it was limited light at the boardwalk. So, wait a minute. See, because God, look, see what God's saying. Look what God's saying. That's what I'm saying. It went a whole nother way from what God wanted. That's just like with Trump. It went a whole nother way. See, it went another way this time too, where people kind of flipping the switch, flipping things around or whatever. Same thing. God got all these cards in here to show this man's supposed to be behind bars. And then we got people who won't let it happen. Follow me? So we have limited light. So I don't know as far as the train. I got to put it with the train because that's all I guess I know of the train. Limited light at the boardwalk at the train. But God says right here that he guilty as charged. And it was going to be on letterhead. But it was that he got charged, right? Some kind of way or whatever happened right in the first place. But he didn't actually get to stay in jail like he should have. Because he took his best shots to tear down the esteem of Mr. Neely. So, inside this jury room, we got one of the jurors didn't want no smoke with these other people. That mean no problems. Get what I'm saying? So on the train, Mr. Penny didn't want no smoke. So he wanted to calm things down, right? So the building, the house, the courthouse goes over here. So somebody was not all there. And if it was said that Mr. Neely was on drugs or whatever was going on, he was not all there, right? But Mr. Penny, these are light green, wasn't resistant. because Mr. Neely was not all there. But at one point, Mr. Penny was not all there because he was choking Mr. Neely like he had no common sense. So he wasn't not all there, right? He was a hard worker on that. He worked hard on choking Mr. Neely. We see it on tape, right? He was going to make no excuses for his work. He felt he was a Marine or whatever, and he was going to do his job as he felt like, right? But we have the people that was the passengers. They didn't want to hear no excuses as far as Mr. Neely having a job because they felt like they was hard workers and they wasn't giving their money to him, right? And they looked at him as not being all there, okay? He needed to proceed with caution because he had to build a path. Mr. Neely or Mr. Penny, because he is a Marine, or these people. So we got 61, number 16, number 7. They was analyzing things. Mr. Penny, Mr. Neely, or the passengers. Because Mr. Neely was banking on one of the people maybe to help him, to check their credit and see if they can give him something maybe, anything like that. So we have Mr. Penny was a Marine, so he's going to express everything needed in any area in his life and go sky high because he felt he could do just that. Because he felt he had to build a path. He was going to work hard on what he was going to work hard on. He tore down the self-esteem of Mr. Neely. He saw Mr. Neely was not all there. He wasn't resistant. He saw he was not all there, but he still wasn't resistant. He was resistant to look at that part, right? So he just went on and did what he did and felt he was going to do his work and make no excuses for being a Marine. He felt that he was because he felt he had to build a path, right? He analyzed things and he was banking on himself. And he wanted to get sky high up here. And that's what he did. And express everything in every area of his life. He wasn't in the Marines at the time. Or he might have been. I just don't know. Right then he was on a train. So he wasn't over there wherever he go at. So he made it become like Showtime. He made that. And life was like a movie for Mr. Neely. Because life was like a movie. So he collaborated with Mr. Neely. In agreement with Mr. Neely where he had him in a chokehold. Right? Seeing the structure of it. So we got a crowd here. Right? Here's the crowd. Joined the crowd. The passengers who was complaining and the two people who was holding his arms. Right? Here's Mr. Penny. Make me love you. Give me a reason why I should let your neck go. I'm just saying these words because that's what I got to put with this to go with this storyline. Because it's not a love storyline. Give me a reason why I should let your neck go. Give me a reason that you're worthy of me letting your neck go. Because he joined a crowd. And the crowd was the passengers and those two people who was holding. Right? Holding on. That's what I'm trying to end this. So we have Mr. Neely or Mr. Penny. One of them was marveling at a candlelight love. That means somebody, I guess, that they used to talk to, or ex of theirs, or yeah, ex of theirs maybe, or one of the Joy people, you know. Okay, they regular people like you are. They got problems too. Okay, so we have right here that a joyous occasion. So we got the candlelight love, and this coming behind it. So Mr. Neely or Mr. Penny was marveling at a candlelight love, a joyous occasion with somebody, and was not going to settle for junk. So it must be Mr. Penny, because he wasn't going to settle for junk. So he looked at what Mr. Neely was doing, he felt like that was junk. He wasn't going to settle for junk and nonsense. Right? Or we had somebody on the jury over here that was marveling at a joyous occasion, wanted to be able to get back to that person and wanted to get away from this crowd to be able to get home to a joyous occasion. Follow me? Nesting. I want what I signed up for. So we have a man or a woman. So we have Mr. Neely or Mr. Penny, one of them, the woman or whoever they hooked on to want what they signed up for, a man or a woman, because one of them was gay or both of them was gay, anything like that. Okay? I don't see a lot of gay cards, but I definitely saw at least 2 of them. Okay, so I want what I signed up for, a man or a woman. Or I want what I signed up for over here with the joy. I want what I signed up for. So if we got somebody over in the joy who want to be able to make the decision they're supposed to make, going off what the judge say, but then they feel like intimidated and they have to go another way because of being bullied or anything like that. Oh, yeah. Because if you say you're going to tell the truth, when you be a juror, the judge asks all kind of questions from the beginning, and you're supposed to abide by whatever it is. You don't supposed to change up, no matter what them people say in the back. You don't supposed to do that. If anything, you're supposed to send a note out to the judge and let the judge know she trying to make me change my answer. But if you're a people pleaser kind of person, you ain't gonna tell the judge nothing. You just gonna go along with the person, and that's not what God wants. Because you can have people losing their life or going to jail. That's the wrong person because you want to appease other people. Okay, so we have right here that somebody wanted to go to another city, state, country, or wherever, and saying bye-bye to being on that jury, or Mr. Penny was going to be going somewhere, or some friend of his, old ex of his was going to be going somewhere, or Mr. Neely's ex was going to be leaving, or he was going to be leaving, or one of these people on the jury. Somebody was going somewhere else. Of the neighborhood or wherever they was going. Somebody needed child healing. Somebody. Mr. Neely, this Marine, one of them people who was holding them, one of those passengers, or one of these jury people. Childhood healing. I want what I signed up for. So for somebody on a jury, what you signed up for is to tell the truth, not be intimidated and pushed into an answer in the back with anybody. You're supposed to stick with nesting while sitting in the back. I'm trying to end it now. I guess you know all about it. Because that was a travesty to hear that today. This man just going to walk free. You telling him he can just go kill people when he get good and ready. That's what you told him when you did that. Okay, so here we got the people pleaser card. Okay, we got one of them jurors as a people pleaser. You gave in when you shouldn't have gave in. Right? And know that your words had power, and you should have let your words have power. If you had to send a note out to that judge, you should have did just that. Because we can't have people like you on the jury that's going to give in to whoever because you feel intimidated or whatever. You need to send a note out to the judge and tell the judge, she trying to make me do whatever. That's what you're supposed to do. Because you'll have people locked up that don't supposed to be locked up. And people go free like this man who shouldn't be free. Because God got too many cards on his table that show he's supposed to be in jail. And he got set free. And because you didn't do what you supposed to did and hold and stand your ground, right? He's gone. He's set free. So we have right here that Mr. Penny is a people pleaser evidently. So he coming, running to help out people pleaser. He felt his words had power, right? So anybody, this is a car, but I'm going to use it as the train. Follow me. Everybody is not everybody. This usually means everybody in the car is bad news, right? But I ain't going to say everybody on the train is bad news. Everybody who was a part of this is bad news. Anybody who complained, any of the passengers who complained, whoever they were, they know who they are, I don't know. Both men who held his arms down, Mr. Penny and any of the passengers who complained about him, all of them is bad news. They was inside the train, the subway, follow me? On whatever weekend or whenever this was, somebody seen something. Either one of the passengers saw something, Mr. Penny saw something. Don't even have to have nothing to do with the what happened to him. It could have been something before he even got on the train. I don't know. Mr. Penny saw something. Mr. Neely saw something. One of those passengers saw something. Or somebody as far as this jury saw something. Whatever it was to see. You seen it. And he or she saw it too. That's what the card says. Say a weekend though, but it don't have to be a weekend, I guess. But let's just flow. Okay. Bread was required because Mr. Penny wanted. Mr. Neely wanted some bread, some real bread, or wanted some money. Money was required to get something to eat or just some bread to put in his mouth. But we have right here that Mr. Penny felt like justice was well served, and also those passengers who had a problem with him begging for bread, right? Money or food, whatever he wanted. So if we have Mr. Penny had somebody home who bread was required, or he might wasn't working, I just don't know. I gotta use the cards different ways. If he wasn't working, he needed to get some bread, right? Because whoever his lady from was, or whoever he had, wasn't gonna settle for junk, and she wanted loyal out of him. That means get a job, do right, or whatever. If it's not that, what Mr. Neely, it would have been where he needed to have a job, get some money, bring some money in, bring some food in or whatever. And then justice would have been well served as far as him and a partner, right? Because other than that, the person wasn't going to be settling for junk. Get what I'm saying? So we have right here that we had a jury pick door 3 junk to throw Mr. Neely in, and we have all the passengers who was a part of this situation, plus the 2 men on the side who was holding Mr. Neely's hand down, and the culprit, Mr. Penny. All of them put Mr. Neely in door 3 junk. That meant you trash, if you don't know what I'm talking about. And they felt like justice well served. Get what I said? They's going to be talking about it in the jury box back there, because they got to decide. All of them among each other, all those passengers, whenever they was talking, while he was there, after he died, to their family or whatever, Mr. Penny and his family or whatever, and those people who was holding his arm there. All of them was going to be doing some talking separately on the trial at the deep feelings, dealing with something judicious. So we have right here that Freedom was calling, but will he answer Freedom? So Freedom was calling for Mr. Neely. Just like that. He had to seek what he was looking for, Mr. Neely. And he is looking for food, money, anything like that, love. He was seeking that, right? So we have the other side is Mr. Penny. Freedom was calling, but will he answer Freedom? That is to let Mr. Neely go. But he wouldn't answer Freedom, right? So we have He needed to eat some good foods, right? Some kind of way he might didn't eat in some days or whatever this is, right? Because God's saying he needed to eat some good foods. So he made a wish to God, but he still didn't get anything from anybody. Because, look, bringing to the table, see all this go with eating. What is he bringing to the table? He sing when he feel mad. So back then, he used to be singing Michael Jackson, impersonating. So maybe he used to get money back then, right? Singing, acting like Michael Jackson, and maybe that brought food to his table, maybe, right? So he might like the color orange. He might like having fun, or one of these jurors, or one of these passengers. Or they might have felt like he wasn't bringing nothing to the table because he might have been asking them for something to eat or whatever he was asking for, right? And he used to sing before. I mean, I don't think he used to sing. I think he used to just dance, right? I don't know if he had the music on maybe, right, to dance. So if his ex or whoever he might have had, or Mr. Penny's ex, wanted to know would the person ever love him? Would his ex ever love him, or would Mr. Penny's ex ever love him? Anything like that? But you ain't get what I said. If this card is for Mr. Penny, he is wondering would his ex ever love him or take him back? Anything like that? And he just need to just go have some fun. He might like the color orange. Follow me or her. And I'll take it to Mr. Neely. If Mr. Neely had an ex that he was away from because the person wanted to know what he was bringing to the table, right? Because he did some kind of prayer some kind of way. Because he needed some food. Here it is right here. God saying eat some healthy food. He might was wondering, would his ex ever love him or take him back maybe? Right? And he just needed to have some fun. And he might like the color orange. Right? And the last card is somebody thought somebody was pretty. So if he had Mr. Penny had a lady friend or whatever, he might thought she was pretty. Mr. Neely might have had somebody he thought was pretty, or somebody thought he was handsome or whatever. Or we got somebody who in the jury where they might have problems with their lover, whoever it is, and they want to know if the person will take them back. Somebody who need to bring something to the table, okay? Somebody who might wanted their freedom, okay? So I think we might leave it at that. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it like that. Got more than one card to show that he's supposed to be in jail. But when it was all over with, this is what happened. From people on the internet, comments on the internet, to the justice system, to the people on the train, the passengers, to the culprit himself, to the people who was holding Mr. Neely's arm. All of those people seem to feel justice well served. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I heard that today, and that was a travesty to hear that man walking free. And he murdered somebody, and he ain't getting no kind of time. You telling him he can go kill somebody, and he can just... You telling him he can just go kill somebody, and he can just... You telling him, not just telling him, telling anybody, especially him. You can go kill somebody, and you can just get away with it. That's a bad message to put out there to people. That's a bad message. And it definitely is a bad message if you're trying to say because he's a certain color. Because they say they don't want race in it, but race is in it. Because if that was a black person, that choked out a white person, that man would be in jail. And you know it. Anybody who looking at me. I don't bite my tongue on anything. You know what I'm talking about. Ain't no me too. Right? You know it, right? And me too, right? Took him for a joke. Took him for a walkover. Because all of you put together, you felt like you was going to dominate. Because all of you pretty much was not his race. So you kind of, you know, like vultures. Okay? Be okay with your looks. And know he is beautiful. He was handsome. Right? That's a racist card in this storyline. Because I feel it was people on that train who was racist. Even now the people on the jury, some of them do not control the outcome. He couldn't control the outcome. Okay? He wasn't simply no average Joe Below. Okay, it was like a pendulum. War games. So we have right here the Marine. We're going to make him the Marine. Wasn't the average Joe Blow. He's a Marine. So he act like he is playing war games right here. Had Mr. Neely's life like a pendulum, choking him left and right. Evidence shows it's about money. Don't want to put him in jail. Want him to stay out so he can make money. Don't want to put him in jail. Don't want to spend no more money for a trial or whatever the heck this is. Or people in their jury want to go home and work. 41. So I'm going to cut it. Okay, we're going to leave it at this, and it's going to be the wrap. Empty thoughts while time was going flowing by. Deep. Deep. God coming at you. God coming at all of you involved. It's a mystery that this person had all these demons. Man got a lot of demons. He owed an insane apology to Mr. Neely, and he probably didn't do it. He in the spirit. He in the spirit, so you can say it out of your mouth. Mr. Neely, I shouldn't have did what I did to you. I was wrong. That's what you're supposed to say. God said, now's the time. And any of you jurors that went along with that, especially the one that you know you shouldn't have, you owe an apology to Mr. Neely. Say it out your mouth. He in the spirit. Mr. Neely, I did you wrong. I shouldn't have went along with what them other people said because I didn't agree with it. And God said, now's the time, because I heard today that it was a not guilty. So go ahead and jump in and do it. So we got somebody who homosexual and is hidden. Okay? So we got that Marine there. It don't matter. I don't care nothing about if he's straight or gay. I don't care what he is. My thing is, the concern is that right there. The murder of Mr. Neely is hidden. Homosexual relationship. I don't really care nothing about nobody's sex life. Is he husband worthy? Well, are you? Blue-eyed brother, this the cops. But then if I turn it another way, is a white person and is a what else? Person who robbed you. So he robbed Mr. Neely of his life. Follow me? He want to be husband worthy, robbed him of his life. Exercise his right to complain and jump in. He need to let spirit and he need to let God in. Aquarius. I'm Aquarius and I'm going to be true. He might be an Aquarius, act like an Aquarius. One of them could be like an Aquarius. He wanted his freedom, Mr. Neely. Okay? It was his downfall. Complain when he have it. It was his downfall going on that train, asking these people for whatever. Because it left him wanting his freedom. It was his downfall. Because he didn't get anything. He didn't get nothing. He didn't get no kind of little transporting of infection, drugs, or... they say he was high, but I don't know. Right? I'm going to take it with they thought that they didn't see him take anything. So I'm going to say they thought that, I don't know, he might wasn't cleaned up. I don't know. He was homeless maybe, so they might have felt like he could get him some kind of disease maybe. since he's homeless. Gather up everything to get started. Starving. These people are starving for power. You have to make sure the person is an adult and don't just look like one. They're starving for power. Deep. When were you going to tell me? I wouldn't have known this about you. Penny pension. And it's real. So Mr. Penny, what's his name? Mr. Neely was penny pension, but this wouldn't be his. This is the other guy, Mr. Penny. When was you going to tell me this would be him or somebody he know? He might have been penny pension his darn self. What you going to tell me? Or we can take it as Mr. Neely was penny pension. When were you going to tell me? I wouldn't have known this about you. Maybe, I guess, as far as the other passengers didn't know he was a Marine, maybe. I can take it that way. Make sure the person is an adult and don't just look like one. It could fool you. So I'm going to put this with Mr. Neely. He was an adult. They say he might look like one, but it could fool you. Meaning that he was acting immaturely some kind of way, maybe. Or we're going to take this to... No, because he was hot, he said, right? So we're going to take this to Mr. Penny. He was starving for power, right? And he acted right and mature, right? He was gathering up everything to get started, to be sincere about doing that, right? So they was looking at Mr. Neely as he could get him some kind of disease or something because he was homeless. It was going to be his downfall, Mr. Neely going on that train in the first place. He is going to complain when he have it. Or let's put it this way, the people was complaining that they didn't have it. Okay, he wanted his freedom. Because we have right here that Mr. Penny needed to let spirit in, boom. Because Mr. Neely exercised his right to complain. Also, the passengers, I guess, because he robbed Mr. Neely of his life. What he said he was going to get the cops or whatever, right? But is he husband worthy, Mr. Penny? Just because he wear pants, that don't mean he husband worthy. So we have right here that is hidden. He homosexual. So if not him, Mr. But I doubt if it's hidden with Mr. What's his name? The other one, Mr. Neely. This is the murder of him. He owed an insane apology, and here his husband card coming behind it. So we have right here, he got a lot of demons. Because he's a soldier. So they gotta have demons because they kill people. So you gotta feel all kind of ways from killing people. You can't just have a decent night's sleep. I'm saying that because my father used to have nightmares. Not all the time, but he'll wake up with nightmares or something out of nowhere, something like that. And I know it probably come from, he might have been out the army for the longest time, but I think you can still probably, things can come to you maybe in your dreams maybe. Stuff like that. Yeah, demons. Here he is. Try me if you dare. I'm going to end it with this. Try me if you dare. That's a threat. Try me if you dare. You don't think I'll do it? And he is going to be real. And he was doing that because Mr. Neely was penny pinching, and it was real. He just wanted something to eat. This is food. He wanted some food. Follow me? Just to get some food, he had to go through all that to get some food. That's terrible. That's terrible. You can't even give food to people in this country. A third world country would be in real trouble. If you can't even give food to people in the country you live in, they don't have a chance. But people got to stop looking down on people because you know better than nobody else. Strip your house away, your clothes away that you got, your job away, your house away, your car away. Strip all of that away. Your money in your bank account away. You'll be just like Mr. Neely out there with no money, no nothing, not cleaned up or whatever. You'll be just the same. Strip all that away and see that you can be just like him. Stop thinking you better than people because you got this and you got that, because you know better than nobody else. Because God look at everybody as equal. Everybody got different colors to them, but that don't mean anything. God look at everybody as the same. Everybody is people. Man and woman. No matter what kind of coloring you got on top of you. But any of you people could be in that position. You better hope in 2025 none of you be in that position that Mr. Neely was in. No food, no house, because God gonna bring it back to you. Oh yeah. Remember that young man who died on the train, who got murdered on the train, that you wouldn't give a morsel of food to, you wouldn't even give the last ounce of your water to? Remember him? The one you wouldn't give $1 to or 50 cents? We can get a piece of bun or something. Remember him? You better hope 2025 that all of your lives go strictly just like you wanted to go. We don't end up like Mr. Neely. No food, no home, no clothes, nobody who want to give you anything. Where you are dirty on the street, on the subway. Because God going to bring it back to you. Remember, Mr. Neely? The one that just wanted something out of you. And you had it in your bag and you wouldn't even give him anything. Remember him? Okay, I'm finished. I think you got the picture, right? Because all of you was power plagued at that time. Every one of you. It was all of you against Mr. Neely, the Negro. Because we had some race going on that train. You ain't going to tell me nothing because God brought that card out. God don't bring racial cards out for nothing. Get what I'm saying? I don't know how New York is, but it's different people that make up New York. But people need a what does that card say? People need to get a grip because it's different races of people, and that's what life is made out of. And you better just get a grip and learn that, and learn to live with each other, because that's how the world is. Okay, that's the Brass Love 1 Healer Tarot 9 here on YouTube. This is as far as the life of Mr. Neely, who was murdered by Mr. Daniel Penny, a Marine, ex-Marine, or whichever one he was at the time, on the subway train. Either last year, the year before, whichever year it was. I will have to write it underneath the video. And he didn't get to spend time like God wanted him to spend in jail, because my storyline said he's supposed to be in jail. So we have a juror, at least one of them, that didn't stick to what she needed to stick with. She gave in. And she shouldn't have. And we can't have people on the jury like that, because they can cost people their very lives. That's a reason right there for this to be turned around with this one woman, whoever she is. She might have brown hair. Let me see. She could have brown hair. She could be slim. Don't have to, but she could be a mother. She don't have to be that either, but I'm just throwing out something for a minute. Yeah, but thank you, Lord, for the life of Mr. Jordan Neely, who was murdered, life taken away just because he wanted food and something to drink, and he was on some type of drug or whatever. That didn't mean that he's supposed to have been murdered. People took matters in their own hands He would have did better going to jail. At least he would have got something to eat, would have had somewhere to lay down. But no, his life was stopped on the train like he did something that bad to be murdered. And everybody around him act like they wanted to applaud, like that was a good thing to do. Like I said, you better hope none of you wind up in a position like Mr. Jordan was. No food, no home, dirty clothes, smelling or whatever was going on. Wanting something to drink and having nobody around to help you. You better hope that don't happen to you 2025. One of you. That mean anybody on the jury, any of those passengers on that train, or anybody involved. Okay? That's the Brass Love 1 here at Jerome 9 here on YouTube.